My King Louis XVI, I present to you in the following document a way to improve our financial situation. Taxes upon the nobility and the clergy estates would have us out of debt in 2 to 5 years.
If you dare take that fool's advice. Don't be a fool, Your Majesty. I insist you don't take that idiot's advice. If you're deathless, truly would. From the Estates General instead, I beg of you. And fire Jack Queen.
Yes, of course.
Our great God-chosen King Louis XVI summoned the Estates General this day for the first time in over 175 years. For the first act to be voted upon today, all in favor of raising taxes on the first and second estate? 1 for yes, 2 for no. It's decided. No taxes for the first 2 estates. We meet again as a true national assembly. Tomorrow then. And we swear
To separate ourselves from the suspension. Until a constitution is drawn up for this realm. Fixed upon solid foundations. And so, the final article declaration is that the property being found for rights of all that nobody can be deprived of without the just reason. Hey, have you heard the news? No, I haven't. I've been more focused on the bread crisis. Apparently there's been calls for violence against the king. Not surprising, given the crises we find ourselves in.
Down to the
Hang on,
tyrant's
you hear that
prison.
yelling?
Viva la revolution! To the Bastille!
Back! Get back! All of you! Stay away! You traitors will not live. Get back! 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 No more tyrants. No more privileges. More bread. That's a bit much, isn't it? What do you mean? This is the rage of a starving mass on leash. This is less than what we should have done. You put a man's head on a pike, and what if his head is on this pike? So, this is insanity. Not to mention savage. So you're saying if I let them make a constitution, they won't raid the palace and kill us all? Give us rights! Although it is humiliating to submit to such lowly peasantry, yes. Letting them take you is the only option we have. Come to Paris! Give us rights! My friends, come to Paris! I'll go to Paris with you. I mean, no opposition to my most loyal of subjects. Woo! Yeah! Woo! Woo!
With a victory won, France would prepare for a new time of peace and prosperity. Although this would not last. With the humiliation of the idea of monarchy itself, Austria prepares to fight the reborn nation. But it would not be the Habsburgs who triggered the conflict. It would be the Legislative Assembly. However, France would not see much luck in its war, with battle after battle being lost to the Germanic armies. With Paris under threat, the disgraced monarch sees his chance to flee.
You there, stop. Don't shoot, we're just travelers. Travelers? You left the path. Carry on. Thank you. Oh. You'll need this. Stop! He's trying to run away? He's gonna come back and kill us all. Where's this traitor now? In prison. The assembly made him just a regular citizen. Are they gonna kill him? Rumor is it, they're going on it now. Well, I gotta look for more Austrian spies, so... Straight off.
They would have their execution. For charges of high treason, murder, and aiding the enemy, Louis Capet had received the highest punishment of the land. He would be beheaded on the 5th of Plouvoy.
Anyways, that's where I lost my titles, my estates, and all my land to those filthy peasants. Wait, as long as no policeman that Robespierre got employed. Phew. They've been rounding up everyone lately. They even took in that grandma and us handing out pastries at the king's execution. They don't have any reason to come after you and me. Don't worry, they'll find one.
Yoda, stop. You're not against anti-revolutionary beliefs. Because of Robespierre's policies as the head of the Public Safety Committee, more than 40,000 had been killed. Because of this, he was arrested and later executed for his crimes against the French people. A republic could finally emerge in France. However, this would not last.
With this victory, Vienna is almost within my grasp. Sir, what is it, soldier? The enemy has surrendered and they wish to talk the terms of peace. Same with the rest of the Italian states. A new constitution, I'll write it later. And a stationing of those National Guard troops, or whatever they call them. It's not the Italians or whomever. The Austrians? Get the army moving before I'm back with my horse. I've got a peace treaty to write in Vienna. Yes, General. So, you're saying, while I was gone, the 5 directors have struggled to do anything productive? And in order to do anything without a director overriding you because they favor their opponent, you have to bribe them all the time. We need a new system.
On November 17th, 1799, Napoleon would coup the Directorate. Despite being a military general, he showed great ability in being both the commander-in-chief of France's armed forces and France's society management.
Since Consul Bonaparte took power, things have been great. Things are cheaper than ever. Everything's getting reworked. The judicial system, he even reworked the postal system, and now it makes a lot more sense. Things could be better than Liberty Department. I guess. The fixed economy is great and all, but he took away some rights we just got. He seems more interested in fighting than ruling. Careful, you could get fined for such words. Besides, there was a vote with over 95% saying that yes, he should be consul for life. And he'd beat Austria for the second time again, single-handedly.
The coalition and Napoleon found themselves at war again in short time. However, Napoleon would defeat the Austrians and their allies in the Battle of Austerlitz. After a morning fog and cunning maneuvering by Napoleon, The coalition would sue for peace yet again after heavy losses to Napoleon's army. Hostilities would resume the following year thanks to the United Kingdom willingness to pay anyone to fight the Little Corporal. A plan would be put in place by Emperor Bonaparte to invade the British mainland. That would be dashed thanks to a daring attack by Admiral Nelson that not only destroyed the French and Spanish fleet, but would also immortalize him as a hero of the Third Coalition. Although his war for the sea failed, Napoleon would find grand success on land. He would conquer Western Germany. He would even cause the dismantlement of the Holy Roman Empire. A fourth coalition would be formed months later and yet again lose to Napoleon's expanding French Empire. Given the British control of the sea, Napoleon would create the continental system. If he could not win by invading the Isles, he would drain them of European trade partners till they wouldn't be able to stop an invasion. However, some would not be willing to hold off on their trade for long, as in 1807, Spain broke from the continental system, forcing Napoleon to invade. A bloody guerrilla war would be fought, forcing France's most elite soldiers to be kept in the region till the war's end. However, with peace won against the Fourth Coalition against France, Russia had agreed to join his continental system, and even provide some support during the many wars France would find itself in. However, this too would be short-lived, as in 1812, Russia, under immense strain for the continental system, was forced to break from it. As with Spain, Napoleon rallied his armies and invaded. This would not be an easy war for Napoleon's armies. Along the path of his armies advance. The Russians burnt every field, village, and poisoned every well. But still, the French marched on. Eventually, Napoleon's army would find themselves in the first real battle of the war.
Charge!
With a hard-fought battle won, it would be a simple march to Moscow. However, by the time the exhausted soldiers began to set up living quarters in the city, preparing for the winter ahead of them, the city began to burn. Napoleon would have to retreat back to friendly lands if he and his army wished to survive the coming winter. However, it would only be 2 weeks before the first snow fell of the worst Russian winter in over a century. He would return to friendly territory with only 1/6 of his army remaining. The rest lost to starvation, the cold, or the Russian raids upon the rear of his army. Napoleon would attempt to recover. However, his once allies, alongside a large Russian juggernaut, defeated him for what they thought was going to be the final coalition. However, this exilement would not keep the disgraced emperor content for long. So one night in 1815, he would be snuck by the British Navy observers with his most trusted men and returned to France. As he returned to the nation, he was met with entire armies wishing to join their old emperor again. Swiftly, he arrived in Paris and took back his title of emperor from the now fled Louis XVIII. The former coalition members wished not to repeat the past 15 years of war. Great Britain, Prussia, and Russia all declared war not on France but upon Napoleon Bonaparte, outlaw of Europe and false ruler of France. However, France and Napoleon's army were not ready for such a war, having only barely recovered from the previous 15 years. This war upon Bonaparte would last 100 days and would culminate in the final battle, Waterloo. Napoleon's army would fight hard, yet it was no threat to the combined armies of Great Britain under the Duke of Wellington and the Prussian army under Blucher. With this battle lost, Napoleon would never see Europe again, after being banished and exiled to St. Helena in the southern Atlantic.